Good evening, students. So, how are you all? So, I hope that you all are doing great. So, let's start with today's topic. Before that, just give me a thumbs up if I am clearly audible to all of you. Just give me a thumbs up. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, Pinky. Yes. Good evening, Pooja. Yes. Srinidhi, good evening. Sagar, just give me a clarity that whether voice is clear or not. Okay, great. So my voice is clear. So let's start with the topic. So in the last class, we have talked about prokaryotic cell and we have seen different parts of prokaryotic cell. Now today we will focus on eukaryotic cell. Now one thing we have seen that of course there are a lot of differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, but there are some similarities. And one of the most important similarity is the cell membrane. The cell membrane of prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell both are the same. So here we will see first we will start with the cell membrane. Although we are covering it in the point eukaryote, but it is same in prokaryotes also. So here basically just simply remember that this is not just eukaryote, but it is both prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Both will have the same kind of structure. Now not much of a difference. So now if we see the cell membrane, so in the cell membrane, first point which is very important, that where is cell membrane present, right? Now if I say cell membrane is present in all the living cell, true or false? Cell membrane is present in all the living cell. Give me reply by writing T or F. Can there be any cell where cell membrane is not present, right? So see, cell membrane is present in all the cell. Present in all the cell. There is no cell, very good, Pinky, Vijay Kumar, so Reshma, very good. So true, yes, it is true that the cell membrane is present in all the cell. So this cell membrane it's an outer layer, so it provide protection. So this structure of cell membrane, it was studied by a scientist and his name was Singer and Nicholson. Singer and Nicholson. This is the name of the scientist who has studied the structure of cell membrane, and he have given a very interesting model which is called fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model. And according to this model, several characters of cell membrane was explained, which we will see. But for studying the membrane of the cell, he used which cell? So he used RBC. Question is asked that Singer and Nicholson has used which cell to study the cell membrane? So it is RBC. Why RBC? Because RBC cell has mostly membrane. The RBC cell is mostly membrane, that's why. Now what he observed in this? So in this it was observed that in RBC the two main component of cell membrane is lipid and protein. Lipid and protein. Now when it was studied, then RBC the main component is lipid and protein, and then gradually it was find out that along with lipid and protein, carbohydrate and cholesterol is also the component. So now if I ask you what are the different component of cell membrane, so you will say that cell membrane has 4 components: lipid, protein, carbohydrate, and fourth one is the cholesterol. Is this point clear? Now, so here let's see, understand the cell membrane here. As you can see here, there is this is the cell membrane, and here you can see this is the layer which is the lipid layer. This is also a lipid layer. So I will dissect this structure into small part, and then again we will come back and see this diagram again, then we will have a better understanding. So first so there are 4 components. We will talk about all the 4 components separately. So the first component which we seen is lipid. So lipid is present in which form? So lipid is present in the form of phospholipid. It is present in the form of phospholipid. What is phospholipid? So phospholipid is a complex form of lipid which has head, which has 2 parts. It has head and it also has tail. The head part is called hydrophilic part. Now hydrophilic part means water loving part, and tail is hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means water repelling part. So this part you understood. So first thing, if question is asked, lipid is present in which form? So you will say lipid is present in the form of phospholipid. What is a phospholipid? Phospholipid is a complex lipid which has 2 parts. It has a hydrophilic head and it has a hydrophobic tail. Now this, because it has 2 parts, which is water loving and water repelling, and that is why it is also called amphipathic. In chemistry, later on when you will study the organic chemistry, there you will study about it, that there are certain components which can have charged part and uncharged part. So it is such kind of molecule is called amphipathic. So phospholipid is amphipathic. Now these phospholipids are present in the form of bilayer. So which is called phospholipid bilayer. Now how it will be present in bilayer? So the head will be present like this toward outside. Head is present like this. Now let's understand what do you mean by this bilayer. Here one layer of phospholipid, another layer of phospholipid, 2 layer, that's why it is called phospholipid bilayer. Now here if you notice that the hydrophilic part, that is the head part, is toward the surface. Remember the arrangement, the hydrophilic, that is the water charged part, is toward the surface, and the hydrophobic part is toward the center. So can we say that this lipid bilayer has a hydrophobic part at the center? So this is how the charged part is toward the boundary and the uncharged part, that is the hydrophobic part, is toward the center. Question is asked that in cell membrane, the hydrophilic head is present inward or is it present outward? So it is present outward on both the side, on both the layer, the hydrophilic head is present outward. Clear? And the hydrophobic is present inward like this. So this is about the lipid. Now what about the second component, that is protein. So this protein is present in the lipid bilayer. It is present within the lipid bilayer. It can be present like, it can be present like this, it can be present like this, or it can also be present like this. So the protein is present within the lipid bilayer. Now some protein are present from one end to another end, and some protein are present on surface. So this protein can be present in two forms. One is called surface protein, and another is called integral protein. Now, which one will be easy to remove? Surface protein is easy to remove or integral protein is easy to remove? Common sense, it is the surface protein which is easy to remove. So surface protein is easy to remove, right? So this is the protein. So understood, protein is present within the lipid bilayer. Either it can be surface protein or it can be integral protein. Then the third component, that is called carbohydrate. Now carbohydrate is present in two forms. It can be present as carbohydrate, it can be present as glycolipid, or it can be present, means the glyco part, it can be attached directly to the lipid. So glycolipid, and glyco part when attached to protein, it will be called as glycoprotein. See, glyco word means carbohydrate. Now onward, wherever you see the word glyco, always consider it as carbohydrate. Now glyco, carbohydrate. When it is attached to lipid, it becomes glycolipid. Glyco, carbohydrate. Protein, when it is attached to protein, it is glycoprotein. So it can be present in the form of glycolipid and glycoprotein. Then last one is cholesterol. So cholesterol is present in a very least amount. It is present in least amount, and this is also present in the lipid bilayer, but it is randomly present in very small amount. So this part is called the cholesterol. Cholesterol provide rigidity to the cell. Whereas lipid provide flexibility to the cell. So now, on this basis, I am asking one word answer. I expect all of you to have a one word answer. All of you only write the answer in the chat. So I am expecting one word answer. I am asking and you just answer on the basis of this whatever is explained here. So now, if I ask you, which component is responsible for flexibility of the membrane? You have to write lipid, protein, carbohydrate or cholesterol. So which component is responsible for flexibility? Which component is responsible for flexibility? Next question. Which component is responsible for providing rigidity? Right, very good. Sheikh, Sagar, Reshma, very good. So flexibility is lipid and rigidity is cholesterol. Very good. So rigidity is cholesterol. Now, see, you call lipid or phospholipid, both are the same. So those who have written lipid or phospho, both are correct. Lipid is present in the form of phospholipid. Now, Here, if I ask you, so this I haven't told you yet, but just I am asking, let me see how many of you can answer. So we have seen flexibility and rigidity. Now, if I ask you, which component is responsible for transport across membrane? Transport across membrane. I haven't told you yet. Let me see how many of you can tell this right answer. Transport across membrane, right? Out of these 4 components, which one is helpful in transport across membrane? Okay, so I am waiting for the answer. Transport across membrane. See, you have to answer only among these 4 components. Okay, so I am getting the answer. Many of you are writing carbohydrate, protein. Sagar is writing protein, Venkata protein. Okay, so protein and carbohydrate, both there is. So understand, this protein, when it is present along, then it will help in transport. So here, function of protein is transport. Function of protein is transport across membrane. Very good. Anita, Deep, Praveen, Anita. Okay, so protein is responsible for transport. Then last left is carbohydrate. Then what is the role of carbohydrate? Of course, carbohydrate should also have some role. So carbohydrate act as antenna. It act as antenna. Now, what is the function of antenna? Antenna is at the rooftop, and antenna receive the signal. So in the same way, carbohydrate in the form of glycoprotein and glycolipid also act as antenna and interact with the outer component of the cell. It interact with outer component of the cell. One cell will interact with other cell with the help of antenna, and that is carbohydrate. So if I say carbohydrate will be present on outer or inner membrane, you just write outer or inner. Tell me, antenna should be present on the outer side of the membrane or inner side of the membrane? Simple question. Simple question. It should be present on the antenna should be, yes, so Faz, correct. Antenna should be present on the outer side of the membrane. Now let's see the diagram in the beginning which we have talked about. Now see here, every point is given. Now if you see here, see, this is the phospholipid, this is the head, this is the tail. Head, tail, head, tail. Then this side also head, tail. So this is your phospholipid bilayer, as you can see here. This is the phospholipid bilayer. Throughout this bilayer is present. Here also you can see bilayer. So this is phospholipid bilayer. This blue color, it is the protein. You can see in the bilayer, this protein is present. Now, it is an integral protein, one end to another end, one end to another end, right? One end to another end. Now, if protein is present on the surface, then it is called peripheral or surface protein. You can see here, peripheral or surface protein. Now, this is the outer side of the membrane and this is the inner side. You see, where is carbohydrate present? Anywhere you see carbohydrate on the lower inner side? No, it is only present on the outer side. You can see in some case it is directly attached to lipid and it is called glycolipid. But when it is attached to protein, it is called glycoprotein. So can we say that carbohydrate, this carbohydrate can be present in two forms, glycolipid, and it can be present in the form of glycoprotein. In the same way, protein can be peripheral or surface protein and integral protein. This is the phospholipid bilayer, and in the same way cholesterol will be present somewhere in between. So this labeling part, as you can see here also it is given, cholesterol is present, right? Here also see cholesterol is present. So cholesterol is present in very less amount. I hope this point is clear. Now one more important thing which is left here for cell membrane. Now cell membrane is called selectively permeable. Cell membrane is called selectively permeable. Why we call it selectively permeable? Because it allow entry of something or it don't allow entry of something. Means, I will give you for example, see, permeability can be of three types. Permeability can be of three types. First is permeable, right? Or you also can call it freely permeable. Means anybody can enter inside. For example, the common road which is present outside your house, is that road freely permeable or not? Anybody can go through that road. So that is called freely permeable, right? Where any vehicle can go, nobody is prohibited to go. So that is called freely permeable. Who is freely permeable? So I will say cell wall is freely permeable. Cell wall is freely permeable. Then next one is called impermeable. Impermeable means nothing can cross through it. I build a wall on the road. Now nothing can cross through that. It become impermeable. Is it clear? It become impermeable. Means nothing can cross. Nothing can cross. Now on the other hand, let's say you are driving and you are going through your vehicle on the road and there is a police checkpost. So police will stop you. They will ask for your ID card. They will identify your identity and then they will allow you to cross. This is what? Selectively permeable. Now the security guard present at your society gate, he will only allow those person to enter who belong to the society or their relative. He will not let anyone or everyone to enter inside the society. So this is what? Selectively permeable. So membrane is just like that security guard who is present outside, and it will only allow those components to enter which are very helpful for the cell, and it will not allow the entry of any unwanted component inside the cell. So this is why it is called selectively permeable. So then one question may come to your mind, which is cell membrane. Now one question which can come to your mind, you all must have heard about it, and that is called semi-permeable. You will say, sir, what is then semi-permeable, and how is semi-permeable different from selectively permeable? Right? All of you must have heard. Can you tell me the phenomenon where you have studied about semi-permeable membrane? Which phenomenon is related to semi-permeable membrane? Quickly write in the chat box. So as the name suggests, semi-permeable. So in this case, only water is allowed to pass. Only water is allowed to pass. Then such case it is called semi-permeable membrane. Very good. Faz is telling osmosis. Right. Tanish, osmosis. Right. Dandelion, osmosis. Very good. Reshma, osmosis. Yes, the definition of osmosis include semi-permeable membrane, right? So now many places you will find in very old book, or when they are not mentioning something, they will call cell membrane as semi-permeable, right? For example, in your book in 9th, 8th, sometimes they write that cell membrane is semi-permeable, right? But if you are given, let's say in NEET you have a question that cell membrane is, and you are given option. First is permeable. Second option is semi-permeable. Third option is selective permeable. And fourth option is impermeable. Now tell me what option you will choose for cell membrane. This is your NEET question, let's say, right? Let's consider this is your NEET question, NEET 2027, one of the question. What you will answer? What you will answer? Will you answer semi-permeable or selectively permeable? So you will go with selectively permeable. Yes, 3. Many of you are answering, right? Rama Devi, Faz, very good. So Reshma, so 3, you will go with selectively permeable. But one more thing, let's say in option you don't see selectively permeable. It is not given in option. In option you are only given semi-permeable. Then what you will do? You will go with semi-permeable, right? Both are correct, but if both is given as an option, which is more correct? Better answer is selectively permeable. But if you don't find that option selectively permeable, then go with the semi-permeable. Remember students, in NEET, it is not always about what is the right answer. It is always about out of 4, which is the best option which can be the answer. Many times, 2 things can be correct and you have to choose one which is more correct, right? So this way you will go with selectively permeable or semi-permeable. This point is clear. So with this we have almost covered the cell membrane very in detail. Now why I have taken a little bit more time here, because from here a lot of question is asked, and this is a very simple yet information rich topic from where questions are asked. So now let's move ahead. Let's do some question, because we have seen a lot of points from here. So now, what is the main function of cell membrane? If I ask you, what is the main function of cell membrane? What is the main function? I am waiting. Yes, so let me start the timer so that So here is the timer. You have 10 seconds to answer. 10 seconds. What is the main function of cell membrane? Yes, I am getting C. C as the right answer. Love, Lakshya, Faz, Lakshya, Neeraj. Okay, very good. So C is the right answer, right? C. It helps in controlling what enter and what exit the cell. And when there is a controlling of what enter and exit the cell, this is called selective permeable. Selective permeable. That's why we call the membrane as selectively permeable. Next question. Which of the following is not a component of cell membrane? We have seen 4 components of cell membrane. Tell me which is not a component of cell membrane. Not a component of cell membrane. A, B, C, D. Sai is telling C. Fine. Suma is also telling C. Dhanashri. What is your answer, Dhanashri? Sheikh. C. Neeraj. C. Fine. So it is C. Very good. So we have already seen that phospholipid is the component, protein is the component, cholesterol is the component. DNA is not the component of cell membrane. Very good. All of you, those who have given C as the right answer. Then next question, the fluid mosaic model. This is the model which explains the structure of cell membrane, fluid mosaic model. Now tell me, fluid mosaic model describe the cell membrane. Is it rigid? Is it flexible? Is it solid? Or is it single protein sheet? So all of you answer it. Good. Suma, C. Ramakrishna, C. Sai, C. Karthik, C. Very good. Venkata, C. Very good. So, see, fluid mosaic model says that, see, the membrane is semi-fluid in nature. It is semi-fluid in nature. Means it is flexible structure and it has moving part. Now, which part can move? So, the lipid can move and protein can also move. Right? Lipid and protein can move from one position to another position, and this movement of lipid and protein is responsible for its flexibility. Next question, which part of the phospholipid is hydrophobic? Which part is hydrophobic? Head, tail, both or none? Power star, answer. Okay, so Faz, Neeraj, Lashya, Tanish, all of you are answering B. Leela, B. Karthik, B. Sonali, B. Sudhakar, you are answering A. Some of you are answering A, most of you are answering B. See, what I have told, phospholipid has two parts. Phospholipid has two parts. One part is called the head, another part is the tail. Head and tail. So, head is hydrophilic and tail is hydrophobic. Right? Hydrophobic. So, what will be the correct answer for hydrophobic? It will be tail. B will be the right answer. So, very good. B will be the right answer. Vasu, B, correct. Suma, Sheikh, very good. So, now let's go to the next part, that is called the cell wall. Right? So, cell wall, tell me, we have already studied about cell wall in bacteria. So, now as we have seen in cell membrane that cell membrane is present in all the cell. In the same way, if I write this statement, tell me true or false. All of you read the statement and tell me whether it is true or false. You have to write T or F. And the statement is cell wall present in all the cell. Is it true or false? I want true or false. Yes, Mallikarjun said F, false. Okay. Yashasvi, false. Sheikh, false. Lashya, false. Very good. So, false means cell wall is present in all the cell. Is it present in animal cell? Do animal cell have cell wall? Our cell have cell wall? No, animal cell do not have cell wall. We have studied in the classification also, the organism were divided on the basis of presence or absence of cell wall, right? So, cell wall may be present in the cell or may not be present in the cell. So if you say present in all the cell, this is false. This will be false. Clear? So this is false statement. Then further, so this statement is false. So now let's see where is cell wall present. So if I say cell wall is present in, it is present in. So let's start. But before that, if I ask you one more statement, let me see how many of you can answer this correctly. Next statement is, let me see, again the same true false statement. If I say cell wall is present in all prokaryote. Present in all prokaryotes. Now tell me whether this is true or false. Those who must have attended the previous lecture, only they can answer this correctly. And if you would have listened the lecture carefully, then you can answer it correctly. If I say cell wall is present in all prokaryotes, true or false? So mix answer is coming, true, false, true, false, true, false. Many of you are writing false, false. Okay, number of false is more. Number of false is more. False is winning. False is more. True is less. Okay, so I can see here false, number of false statement telling false. See, cell wall is present in all prokaryotes. So now if I ask you this question, you are telling false, right? It is false. So tell me the prokaryote in which cell wall is absent. Next question. Cell wall is absent in, tell me. Name the prokaryote in which cell wall is absent. Again, very important question. Last class also I have asked the question from the same organism. Hint. Tell me. Let's see who can answer. You have to write one word, name of the cell which do not have, name of the prokaryote which do not have cell wall. See, animal cell don't have cell wall, but they are not prokaryotes, so that will not be the answer. Nikhil, very good. Nation gamer, correct. Okay. Suchitra, correct. Faz, correct. Very good. So, most of you are answering mycoplasma, right? Yes. Mycoplasma is the prokaryote. Mycoplasma is the prokaryote without cell wall. Without cell wall. That's why they are called jokers. They are called jokers of microbiology. So very good. It means that you all are attentive in the previous classes. So good. These are some of the very critical and common mistakes which a student do. And if you are alert from the beginning, definitely you will not do such mistakes when your regular classes will start. Now, so now cell wall is present in. So if I say it is present in bacteria, yes, cell wall is present in bacteria except mycoplasma, right? So here I will write except mycoplasma. Then cell wall is present in fungi. Cell wall is also present in fungi. Cell wall is present in algae. And cell wall is present in plant cell. In animal cell they are absent. So I will remove it, otherwise you will get confused if I write animal cell here. So animal cell don't have. So bacteria, the cell wall is made up of, quickly those who can write, quickly write. In bacteria, cell wall is made up of in fungi? So you have to just write B and you have to write whatever it is. Then F, whatever it is. A, whatever it is, plant. So bacteria, the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan. In fungi it is made up of chitin. In algae it is made up of cellulose, right? And in plant cell also it is made up of cellulose. Although there is some difference in the cell wall of algae and fungi, but cellulose is the major component in both the cell. So they all have cell wall. Now what is the role of cell wall? As I said, the cell wall are freely permeable. They are freely permeable, but they will provide shape to the cell. They are responsible for the shape. They are responsible for protecting the cell. And although they are freely permeable, but they will only allow small molecule to pass. The large molecule which are present, they will not let it enter into the cell. So they will prevent very large molecule to enter the cell. Enter the cell. So now we have already talked about prokaryotes. So now we will mainly focus on the cell wall in the plant cell. So in plant cell, if I ask when is the cell wall formed, all of you must have studied. Cell wall is formed during cytokinesis. During cytokinesis of cell division, cell wall is formed. Now remember, all of you again must have studied about it in your 9th and 10th class. Cell division include karyokinesis, that is division of nucleus, and cytokinesis, that is division of cytoplasm. Cytokinesis in plant cell. If we talk about plant cell, so there in the cytokinesis, cell plate formation take place. What take place? Cell plate. Remember this point. Cell plate formation take place in the plant cell. Cell plate formation take place in the plant cell. This cell plate will give rise to middle lamella. And this middle lamella basically will give rise to the cell wall, right? So this is how cell wall is formed. Clear? So now let's, here in the diagram you can see the structure of cell wall. I am going to explain it in a little detail. But before this part, you all understood when is it formed? During the cytokinesis. During the formation between the two cells, cell plate is formed. This cell plate will form middle lamella, and from the middle lamella cell wall will be formed. So now here if we see, then what we observe here? We are seeing here the cell wall layers. Means cell wall also have layers. As you can see here, these are the layers of cell wall. So now first and foremost, very important point, which is the outermost layer of the cell wall? Outermost layer. So outermost layer of the cell wall, as you can see, this blue boundary is the outermost layer, isn't it? Middle lamella. So middle lamella is the outermost layer. Middle lamella is the outermost layer. Just below the middle lamella, what you can see? Primary wall. So first outermost layer is primary wall. Second layer is the outermost layer is the middle lamella, second layer is the primary wall, and then you can see the third layer. Third layer is the secondary wall. But when you see the third layer, what you are observing? That third layer can be made up of multiple layers, S1, S2, S3. Means secondary layer is multiple layered, but middle lamella and primary layer is single layered. So layer, if we talk about, so it has 3 layers. The outermost layer is called the middle lamella. Middle lamella is the outermost layer. Outermost layer. Then the second, just below it, is the primary wall. Primary wall. Now this primary wall, it is single layered. Single layer. And then the third layer, which is the innermost layer, which is the secondary wall. Now this secondary wall is, it is multi-layered. It is multi-layered. So now if I ask you which layer will increase in thickness, secondary wall. And gradually as the cell become old, the primary wall disappear. Primary wall disappear. Is this point clear? So from here question is asked, from outside to inside, layers are middle layer, primary wall, secondary wall. Thickest, secondary, right? First to form, middle lamella. Who will gradually disappear? Primary wall will gradually disappear. Which one will become thicker? Secondary wall will become thicker. So these are the layers of the wall. Now quickly these answers. Just 2-3 questions I am having with the cell wall. Cell wall is found in which of the following organism? Cell wall is found in which of the following organism? Answer will be fungal cell, yes. Plant cell, yes. So correct answer will be D. Both B and C. Right? So it is found in, it is not found in animal cell. Next question. Which of the following is a major component of plant cell wall? Major component of plant cell wall. Whether it is collagen, no. Peptidoglycan, it is for bacteria, not for the plant cell. Chitin, it is for fungi, not for plant cell. So for plant cell, the major is A. A, plant cell. Next. Which is the primary function of cell wall? The primary function of cell wall is it a storage of genetic information? No. Is it protein synthesis? No. Is it energy production? No. So main function is protection and structural support. Next, in bacteria, cell wall is made up of, we have done this question several times. It is made up of, is it cellulose? No. Is it chitin? No. Is it peptidoglycan? Yes, it is peptidoglycan. C will be the right answer here. Last question. What is the middle lamella is made up of? Yes. So this is important. Middle lamella is made up of calcium pectate. It is made up of calcium pectate, which is sometimes also called as pectin. Remember. So correct answer here will be middle lamella is made up of pectin. It is made up of pectin. So correct answer will be C. So rest of the topic we will do in the next class. So I guess all of you must have enjoyed the class today. A lot of new things you all must have learned. So before going, I expect all of you to like the video, go back, revise NCERT, read NCERT, solve all the questions related to this. So all of you have a very good evening. Bye bye.